Good morning, y'all. It's Jess. Welcome back to my channel for another video. So today I'm going to be doing some much needed cleanup in my shade garden. I have a lot of work cut out for me. Lots of weeds have grown over here. I have not been out here in like a month, y'all. So let's go ahead and get to cleanup. So here's kind of a before of what everything is looking like. Super overgrown and weedy. So I have a lot of trimming to do, a lot of cutting back and weeds to pull. I'm thinking I want to start over on this end just because this end is currently still in the shade. The sun will continue to move down this way, so I'm going to work my way backwards. So let's get to it. All right, so starting off over here in this corner, I just have a lot of weeds, you guys. This area is packed out with hostas and hellebores. So I'm going to start off with the weeding first, and then we'll get to trimming. So now that I got all the weeds pulled out of this area, I'm going to go back in and do some trimming. Like this hosta here, I'm going to go ahead and trim off its spent bloom. Also clean up some of the tattered foliage as well. Definitely on my canna lily here. This area looks better already. I am going to leave my rhododendron as is just because it does this every year, y'all. I'm just going to let it do its thing. It is yellowing, but it'll be fine. So moving on to this middle section here, I've got some canna lilies that definitely need some attention. Also some weeds to pull, and then my hydrangeas in the back. I think I'm going to leave them alone. They're doing pretty good. The blooms are starting to brown just a bit. Maybe I'll cut off the spent brown blooms and keep the other ones. But I'm so happy with how large these have grown this year. Someone has taken over my kneeling pad, so I guess I'll be squatting as usual. He is loving the Gardenista mat, y'all. That thing is so comfortable. If y'all haven't purchased one, definitely worth the money. That looks so much better. I love cleanup videos, you guys. It's just so instantly satisfying. So now I'm going to move on to this area, and this is where the sun is starting to move over, y'all. So pray for me. I'm already dripping sweat and I'm in the shade. All right, y'all, full sun time, Weed City, but Good thing is these weeds are super easy to pull.
I know living in a line easy. I don't want it no more. I know one of us is going crazy if we don't let it go. I feel everything inside me changes all over again. Can't wait knowing that our love is tainted. Yeah, tainted.
All right, you guys, so I got all the weeds pulled from this area over and it looks so much better. So I'm going to try to tackle this as fast as I can. I'm going to set my camera over here in the shade so that hopefully it won't overheat and cut off on y'all. If it does, my apologies in advance. So I'm thinking to cut these back. I'm thinking the best course of action will be to use my hedge trimmers, let everything fall, and then just do one major cleanup. All right, you guys, cleanup portion of the video is done for the most part. I could definitely come in and trim my bushes just a little bit better, but my main goal was to cut back all of that new growth, which mission accomplished. So I'm not going to fuss about their shape too much right now. We are just coming out of some cloud cover, which felt amazing for half a second, but I am actually going to wait until the sun moves around the back side of the house, just because it's easier to see the plants when this bed is in full shade. So I'm going to head in, take a much needed shower because I am drenched, eat some lunch, and I'll be back later with the tour. Hey guys, so it's about 2 days later at this point. Time just got away from me, y'all. I have been super busy, but we are back with the tour portion of today's video. It is about 7 o'clock in the evening right now. This entire bed is in full shade right around, I want to say a little after noon is when the sun moves around to the back side of the house. So this gets shaded for the remainder of the day. We are at 98 degrees today, y'all. So bear with me. It's super muggy. But anywho, over here I have my lungwort. It is doing okay, you guys. It is getting a little bit sun scorched, and of course the heat has gotten to it, but I am still enjoying its gorgeous speckled foliage. Y'all know how I feel about my speckles. My distilleum back here, you guys did see I cut back. Sorry, my air conditioning unit just cut on, but they look so much better than they did, you guys. I could definitely go in and shape them a little bit more, but it's just gonna have to work for now. In between them, I do have 2 hibiscus trees that are looking a little bit maybe iron deficient, or I'm not sure if they're just getting too much sunlight. That I'm not quite sure. Maybe they're not getting enough sunlight since they're in the shade. But they did bloom for me. You can see some of their spent blooms still hanging in there. They're looking a little fried and dried, but I will come in, give them a nice haircut to start training them into the shape that I want them to be. I want them to be a nice, cute little lollipop shape. By the way, I almost forgot to mention the name. These are called Chateau de Versailles hibiscus. So down in front of them, I have 2 geraniums planted. They're called Boom Chocolata by Proven Winners. They bloom these pretty purple flowers. The flowers have spent. I did cut back their bloom stalks, and I'll just enjoy their foliage until fall. They do turn into this nice, pretty burgundy, like purpley color in the fall, so that will be my little bit of fall interest in this bed. In front of those, I do have 2 hostas planting that I think I'm going to end up pulling, you guys. This is their 4th or 5th year. I think it's actually their 5th year in the ground, and they just are not performing. So y'all know how I am. If it's not doing what I want it to do, I'm gonna pull it out and change it. So the hostas probably will be either given away or relocated at some point. This gigantic one here in the center is another hosta, aka plantain lily. I like to call it my plantain lily because that's what it was labeled. And then on kind of like in a triangle, I have planted 3 heuchera here. These are called guacamole. Y'all, they are getting fried, dried, and laid to the side. Like way too much sun in this area. And I did have plans to transplant them, but I just never got around to it. So hopefully I could do that this fall. I want to move them into my shade garden in the backyard. And then right here I have a agapanthus. Is this agapanthus or acanthus? I always get them confused. I think this is agapanthus. I have divided this into 3 separate clumps. So I have a clump here. Ooh, y'all, hold on. I missed some weeds. Anywho, I have an agapanthus planted here that I did divide into 3 clumps. There's a clump here, blooms these pretty big white fire looking flowers, and I just went in and cut back the bloom stalks. I have my hose reel here, my AC unit, which is being super loud right now, I'm so sorry. And then in front of my AC unit I did have 3 wee white hydrangeas planted here. I did lose the one that was planted. I dug it up, put it in a pot. Unfortunately, I was not able to save it, you guys, so I did lose that one. Still have 2 remaining, which I probably will relocate into my backyard landscape at some point. And then this is another clump of the same agapanthus planted here. I think this is called Midnight Twilight or Ever Twilight. Y'all, I can never remember the names of these. I'm so sorry. Behind that, I have my Solomon seal, which is getting way too much sunlight, but y'all, I don't even care. I actually like the lime color that it provides with its variegation. So the only 2 plants that I decided not to trim in this bed are my arborvitae spirals. So I will come in and give them a haircut probably sometime next month or in September. So I'm gonna wait to do those until it gets a little bit cooler. On my back row here, I have a hedge of 5 Invincible Sublime hydrangeas, which y'all, I am so impressed and happy with how these have been performing. Oh yes, the air cut off. But look at these blooms, you guys. So yes, they are showing a little bit of browning just because of all of the heat that we've been having here, but I am so impressed with how much growth they have put on. If you guys watched my spring cleanup video, you remember that I cut these down to like maybe 5 inches tall, if that, and they've put on so much growth. And I actually decided to replace the hydrangeas that I had planted here originally because they weren't growing. I wanted them to grow up right under my window. Mission accomplished. So I'm so happy with these, you guys. They look amazing. So over here in the back corner, I have a hosta planted. It is a praying hands hosta, which y'all, I think when I did my like moving and reconfiguring this bed earlier, I did not put a drip emitter on that hosta. So it is getting completely fried. Note to self, fix the drip in the fall. Also down here, I have a fire and ice hosta that's doing great. I do have plans to divide it because I want to fill in the rest of this space. I originally had 3 of them. I have no clue what happened to the other 2, so it's okay. I'm going to end up dividing it. I have my giant calla lily over here. It's doing okay, you guys. I love its big, bold texture. It is trying to put out another bloom for me here, but I don't know, you guys. It's not looking too hot. But anywho, I still love this plant anyway. I love its structure. I love its boldness. I love the wavy texture and speckles of the leaves. And then the cups when they're in bloom, chef's kiss, phenomenal. So yes, I love this plant, and I definitely will be dividing this because I already have my designs for the next area I'm going to be developing in my backyard, which I cannot wait to share with you guys next year. Moving right along, over here I have 2 calla lilies planted here. These are white blooming, just your standard regular calla lily. Love, love, love them, and I actually was able to catch them in bloom. If you guys missed my last tour, check it out. They looked amazing. So just gonna let them do their thing. They will die back down to the ground for the fall and then come back up next year. I have some dianthus planted here. I only have 3. I know that looks like a weed, but it's actually a dianthus plug. I used to have 9 that I got on clearance, and only 3 of them survived. So just letting them do their thing. They have gorgeous blooms, which this one is just getting ready to close up for the evening. But yeah, I'm just gonna let them grow. I'll eventually divide them and move them into the backyard. In between them, I do have hyacinth bulbs that come up in the spring that line this border really, really pretty. I have a Brother Stefan hosta planted here that is getting a little bit sun scorched. Like, y'all, literally everything over here in my shade garden gets a lot, like a strong block of morning sun. But it is protected in the afternoon. As you guys can see, currently it's in the shade. So love the waffly texture of these leaves. Let me try and give you guys a close-up of a decent looking leaf. I guess this one's the closest to decent. You guys see that texture and then the blend of those ombre colors? So, so pretty. I have 2 hellebores here that I got on clearance that are struggling, but I'm just gonna let them do their thing, y'all. Ooh, it's been a couple days, so I need to come out here and do some more trimming on this giant calla lily. And then over here, I have a Hycona cloagrass doing well, another arborvitae spiral, and then I have a blend of hellebores planted over here that I got on clearance a couple years ago. They are doing amazing, you guys, and they bloom so pretty in the spring. Like, I used to not be a fan of hellebores just because I didn't like the fact that their blooms kind of like hang their heads and face downward, but it's such a nice and welcome pop of color in the spring. So I also enjoy their foliage. Like, look at this, y'all. Look at that veining. And I think this one is called Frost Kiss, if I'm not mistaken. Back in the corner, I have a wee hosta and another Brother Stefan hosta that are doing okay. My rhododendron, y'all, it bloomed, and now it's back on the struggle bus. So yeah, it's just getting way too hot for everything over here, y'all. I cannot wait for the fall for everything to get some reprieve and kind of regroup. And then in the back corner, I have an acanthus planted here, which is not doing too hot, y'all, but I literally forgot that I had it planted in this corner, and I think it's set on drip. I just need to revisit my entire drip in this bed. Over here, I did give my 2 topiaries a slight little haircut. Ooh, a little piece of my clipping still here. But I didn't want to do too much trimming on them because y'all know I almost lost these last year, so I have just been trying to let them regrow. They have flushed back out. I'm so happy with them, but I'm still wanting them to beef up and be nice and full when I like how they looked when I first planted them. But I love my 2 blue pots that they're planted in. I have hooked them up on drip. So there is a drip line that runs up through the inside of the pot, and it's hooked up on a bubbler. So both of these have been getting consistent water, hence them flushing back out and rehabbing. But yeah, you guys, that concludes the tour portion of my shade garden. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything. I hope you get a chance to get out in your gardens and spend some time. If you do, be sure to take some breaks in the shade. Stay hydrated, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.